Here we go. Our next one. And go ahead. Everybody do it. Everybody go like this. Pat yourself on the back. You know why we pat ourselves on the back? Because we discovered Jakob Marsee. Nobody was talking about Jakob Marsee. And you know who did? Me and Ross sat here right in front of all of you and said Jakob Marsee is a superstar. And here he is. Let's break down Jakob Marsee's stats. He is 6 foot tall, 180 pounds. He is 22 years old. He was drafted round 6, pick 180 out of Central Michigan in 2022. Jakob Marsee's, I'll break down his career first, and then we'll jump into 2023. So his career, 556 at bats, batted .268, on base .416, slugged .424, on base plus slugging .840, 18 home runs, 61 stolen bases, 23 doubles, strikeouts 122, walks 128. Come on, Ross. Let's do it. Just real quick. Get it up there. Pat yourself on the back. There you go.
Hey,
there you go.
If we were in person, I would pat you on the back because you were the one that brought him to my attention. I remember we were having that discussion. We brought him up on one of the Bats and Stats podcasts last year, and as I was looking through his numbers, because I was familiar with the name, but
so there was two.
I remember as we were talking about it, I was like, dang, I've got to go make a trade offer or something right now. You know, like I really became infatuated with the profile as we were talking about it. I was like, there's something here. This is pretty intriguing, you know? So yeah, he improved throughout all of last season too. And I want to point that out. So the stellar improvement in his plate discipline. Well, I mean, it wasn't even an improvement. He had that his entire career. Yep. But he had stellar plate discipline, hitting some home runs. It's not an over exorbitant enough, but it's power that will play in the major leagues, and stealing a ton of bases. He was promoted as a reward to Double-A. This was as a 22-year-old. Yeah, and I mean, just did better. He hit better there.
Yeah. And
then in the AFL this year, we didn't even talk about the AFL. This was well before that. He slugged .707, hit .391, continuing with the excellent plate discipline, power, speed, everything you want. I think he's a go-get-him. He's still just 22. What do you want to say? I mean, maybe a cup of coffee next season at 22, 23. He'll be on the precipice of 23 probably. So go get him.
Go.
No, he'll be 23 by the time that would roll around for sure. But I say go get him.
Yeah, I would love to drop the F-bomb right here, but go effing get him. Man, Jakob Marsee. So there was two guys that I brought up on that podcast. There was a Marion Boyd and there was Jakob Marsee. And I asked, because I was infatuated with a Marion Boyd. But then as we started looking at both of them, we both it was like lights turned on. Jakob Marsee is a stud, is a freaking stud. Even his college stats were insane. Does he have a comp on STS?
Let's check it out. He does. And this is not a great comp. I don't love this comp. Peter Borjos. You remember him?
It rings a bell. Was he an Oriole?
He was an Angel. I think he might have also played for the Orioles. He bounced around a little bit. He was a bit of a journeyman.
I remember the name. Boujores or something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he played for the Orioles. He played for the Cardinals, the Phillies, the Rays, the Braves. He was a bit of a journeyman later on. Yeah. But he was an interesting prospect, and this is actually such an appropriate comp because he was a little bit about the same age as Marsee was. He was playing at around the same level. A little less power than than Marsee had, but he stole a lot of bases. And then when he came up as a pro, it was kind of similar. Like he had decent power. What didn't carry through is his plate discipline, and I think that's the difference maker for Marsee, is that he's got that plate discipline to help carry through to the major leagues. Higher OBP numbers. I think we're looking at a successful pro that could put up some kind of similar counting stats as Borgios did in larger samples. So that's promising to me. That's 15, 20 potential there, 15, 25 potential maybe.
15, 30.
So 15, 30 possibly.
With what the stolen bases are doing right now in the MLB, I see 30 bases, no problem.
So FPS projects him for 15 and 23. That's pretty good.
It's awesome.
I'm intrigued here. I like it. I say he's a go get him.
And I don't know him from Adam, right? But I think he's going to be a fan favorite. I think everybody's going to fall in love with Jakob Marsee.
Yeah. Okay. So I can see that.
Just one of those things.
I do have him ranked in my personal. I have him ranked in my personal top 100 as number 91, I think.
Yeah, I think he might have cracked 80 on mine, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Jakob Marsee, so go get him.
Go get him.
That shouldn't cost you much at all, and the rate on return on that is insane.